So we're going to start by cutting the front part of our skirt. So I folded my fabrics with the front part of the material facing me, and then I'm going to mark our starting point line. So I wrote my starting point line, and from there I'm taking out 1.5 inches for our waistband. So I placed 1.5 inches on the line, and then I marked my hip line to be 9.5 inches, which means half inches is for joining the skirt to the waistband. And then I measured my knee length, which is 22.5 inches. Then I measured the full length of the skirt, 27 inches, with an extra 1.5 inches for my hemming allowance. This is going to be a full line skirt. So I'm going to see how I'm going to line the skirt. So just do exactly as I did. So I repeated the markings at the other end of the material. Then I connected my lines together. As you can see, that's my hip line, connecting it together, my knee length, and then the full length of the skirt with our hemming allowance. So I connected it together. That's all the line we're going to be working with because of this tutorial. Yeah, then I'm going to divide my waist measurements by 4. So divide the waist measurements by 4 and place it at the starting point line. Please don't forget to label your lines. Then as you see me doing now, I labeled my hip line KL meaning knee length, FL meaning full length, and then the other one as hemming allowance. And then for the hip line, divide your hip into 4 and mark the exact measurements. Mine is 11.75, and then I mark the same measurements on my knee, which I'm going to pencil out, and then I mark the same thing on my full length too. Then with your ruler, connect your lines together to have a perfect block. So I connected my lines together and also to my waist line. This is also my starting point line. To contour the back, I'm working for a plus size person. So for this person, I used 1.5 inches to tighten the front part of the skirt. So I took out 1.5 inches on the knee length and the full length, and then I connected my lines together. Some people usually take out pencil their skirts from the full length, but this is a more better way of penciling out your skirts block. This is a better way of penciling out your skirt block. And then I'm working with a sewing allowance of 1.5 inches. So this is me marking out my 1.5 inches for the waist. So yeah, to make it clear, this is marking out 1.5 inches, and then I connected my lines together. Yeah, so I took 1.5 inches. I took 1.5 inches from my sewing allowance, and then with the end of your French curve, shape out any pointed edge from the hip line. From the front pattern, I'm coming down on the waist by 0.75 inches to avoid any bulginess or bulginess at the front part of the skirt after sewing. So yeah, I took it out, and then our front pattern is ready. This will be cutting it out. Just follow your line and cut it out as I'm doing. So yeah, this is the perfect way of cutting a penciled skirt. Very perfect and more fitted. So on the waistline, I'm going to cut it from the starting point line After cutting the back pattern, I'm going to trim out the front parts. So this is me. I folded my fabric into two. Then I'm placing my front pattern to use it as a guide to cut my back pattern. So make sure to leave a space for the zipper allowance from the center, at the center back of your skirt. So I left some inch space there. And then I'm trying to place my materials very well to lay perfectly. I avoid any fold at the under. So I placed it, and then I'll be taking out my zipper allowance, which I usually use 1 inches for my zipper allowance. So at the hip, I'm coming out by 1 inches for my zipper allowance. Yeah. So like that, I came out by 1 inches for my zipper allowance. So at the waist part of the skirt, so that end, I will not be taking out 1 inches from that side. So that I'm going to make it the back to be slanted, so it's going to lay perfectly well at the back of my clients. You get. So I'm taking out that 1 inch of my my zipper allowance at the other side of my waist, as you see me do. So just follow my hand. My camera wasn't able to capture that very well, so I marked 1 inches at the other side and the other side, and then yeah, I'm going to be connecting my lines together now. So you see me slanting the zipper allowance side. Yeah, I slanted it upward to the waist, certain points line to the waist, and then the other side from my hip, I drew my straight line to the 1 inches I came out with. Then that's my zipper allowance. Just go to the other side of my skirts. When I take my 1 inches when sewing it, then everything is going to align perfectly well. We get. So yeah, I like having a perfect and a neat work. So that's me. I tend to arrange my material very well. So I continue taking out my 1 inches from my zipper allowance. So there's going to be a slit there. And then I connected my lines together. If you work with 1.5 inches, make sure to come out by 1.5 inches for your zipper allowance. Just use inches they are comfortable with. So for me, I'm comfortable with using 1 inch. That's why I'm using 1 inches my zipper allowance. If some people use 1.5 inches, even 2 inches stuff. So use 1 inch is perfect for me though. So this is me trying to extend the hemming line. So it's going to touch the back. And remember, I took out 1.5 inches for contouring or penciling out my front block. So for the back part of the skirt, my back block, I'm going to be using 1 inches for contouring. Because I took out 1.5 inches on the front pattern, I'm coming out by 0.5 inches at the back part of the skirt. Yeah, so you see what I'm saying. I'm using 0.5 inches for the front, and then for the back, I'm coming out by 0.5 inches, meaning I'm contouring the back part of the skirt by 1 inches. So that's it. And then I connected my lines together, and that's all we are going to be doing for these skirts, for cutting, for the basic bodies of skirts. And yeah, I'm cutting it out. So I'm going to cut exactly what I drew out, without following my lines. And yeah, as you can see me doing, I cut the hem, and with the extension of 0.5 inches, I'm still cutting it again, and the 0.5 inches I came out with. then all the way to the hip, and then all the way to the 1 inches I came out with from my zipper allowance. Yeah, and then I'm going to cut the waistline at that starting point line that we drew earlier. So after cutting it out, I'll now bring us now. Okay, I'm cutting my zipper allowance now, the 1 inches we came out for our zipper. I'm cutting it out. Yeah, that's it's as simple as ABC. As simple as ABC. Just follow my steps and you're going to have a perfect skirt. And then this is the waist. I'm cutting out the waist from the starting point line that we drew earlier. And then I'm going to separate the front pattern from the back and trim out the waistline for the front, but that's 0.75 inches we came down with. Remember? Yeah. So this is me taking it out. Right? Yeah, this is all we for the skirt. And then our skirt is ready. Don't forget to label your block so avoid confusion while sewing. So I use CF for the center front, and then CB for the center back, and then I wrote up 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 to indicate that that's where I'm going to be adding my waistband. That's all part of the skirt. Now when you when you misplace all these materials, it can be confusing to indicate which is which. So I later wrote Z, meaning zipper. So we're going to attach it on zipper allowance. And then I like notching my skirts. This is the full length of the skirt. I just notched it at the side. But I don't notch the center front too, because center front piece is joined. So I not notch there. I just notch the back and then the sides. Yeah. And then our skirt is done. Then onto the waistband. So I'm going to cut my waistband. Remember we took off 1.5 inches while cutting out our skirts, because we're going to attach a waistband of 1.5 inches. So I used this is a gum stay. Some people call this a gum stay. It's also called, the general name for it is interlining. They're all called interlining. And I'm using a medium weight one. So I ruled my starting point line, and from there I'm coming up by 1.5 inches for our waistband. Then I'm marking my dots all the way. After which I will now use my ruler, my straight rule, and rule a straight line there. Just connect your points together, have a straight line. And then to know the length of the band, I'm going to get my skirts. This is the front part of the skirt. So remember that our skirts, the front part of the skirt is folded into two. So I'm having 11 inches there. 11 inches times 2 will be 22 inches. I'm going to mark the length of my skirt. And then, in likewise manner, we also cut the back of the skirt. Yeah, the back of the skirt is 2 pieces. So we're going to cut it to be 2 pieces too, unlike the front that is a 1 piece. So yeah, so I connected my lines together, and then this is measuring the back to find the length of the waist of this back. I'm sorry I was able to capture that, but as in the same manner I ruled my 1.5 inches for the back as well. You can see the line at the middle, meaning these two. So to attach it to your fabrics, just cut it out, use your gum to stick it to your material, even half inches, and then you fold in the half inches and press it very well too. Yeah, and then I'm going to flip it over to cover it, and I'll press it as well. And then with the aid of my scissors, I'm going to cut out 0.75 inches. This one I usually use 0.75, and this is 1.5 inches too. This is me cutting out extra 0.75 inches from the edge of where the this thing stopped after flipping it over. Then I'm going to fold this on top to press. This will just placing it on top will just make it to have an extra 0.125 inches outside, like just a little bit extra. Yeah, so when I flip it over, I'm going to have a tiny, it's not going to be exactly the length, it's going to be exactly at the front, it's going to be 0.125 extra allowance. So that's it's just press it very well. And that's why I attached, I did that's all I did my waistband, both for the front piece and for the two back piece. As you can see, we have 3 waistband for the skirts. And yeah, you're cutting the lining here. So we're going to place the center front of the material to match the fabric, the lining. The two edges should be equal. And then at the hemming line, I'm going to take out 1 inch. No, we use 1.5 inches for the hemming allowance. But for the lining, I'm going to use half inches for the hemming allowance of the lining. That means we're taking out 1 inches from the hemming allowance. This is to make it have a neat and very clean finishing at the hemming line, at the hemline of the skirt you get. So this is me cutting out half inches extra from the full length of the skirt and the lining, and then every other thing remains the same. So yeah, I'm not cutting every exact thing I have on my material on the lining, so every other thing remains the same. And in likewise manner, this are going to cut the back parts of the skirts as well. So the back, we're going to take out 1 inches from the hemming allowance as well, and then every other thing remains the same. Just cut it exactly as you have the main material, and that's all we'll be doing. So yeah, so I flipped it over to show you how it is. You see, I took out 1 inches, the 1 inches we took out. This is it, exactly as the front block, as the material, and every other thing. Yeah, then onto the sewing. So this is me on my machine trying to sew the skirt. So you're going to open it up with the front part of the material facing the front part of the lining. So front part, the right side of the material facing the right side of the lining, you get. And then at the end, at the hemming line, just place it, equal it, and then you're going to sew half inches to join the two pieces together. So this is me after sewing it. If you're lining it, I'm going to use interlocking to lock the edges, or if not, after sewing the half inches joining, just do run your half inches on the two side for turning your main fabric, if you get. Just the same way you turn your material with lining, just turn it up before you now turn it. It's still going to be the same, but before you do that, just come down, just put the lining downwards to have an extra 1 inches excess on the main fabric, just as you see me do. So when you pull your line inwards, Then that's this thing, that knot she had at the hem, at the full length of the skirt, stop there. That should be a guide for you. So stop there and then run your stitch over. So I hemmed it and then I made my lining and my mending material to be one piece. So I hemmed the whole, I ran a stitch on the two sides and on the waistline to have it to be a one piece. And then this is me trying to do my draping. I came down from the waistline by half inches, 1.5 inches on both sides. That's going to be a guide of where my draping is going to start from. And from the hip line, I came down by 5.5 inches. So from that hip line, that pointy edge on the hip line, I placed my tape. I came down by 5.5 inches. And then this is me trying to do my draping. This material I'm using, this black material, this is a crepe material. It's slight elastic. It's not so elastic. It's a crepe material, it's a bit elastic. You get, and that's perfect for draping. So that when the clients wear this, it's pleated, it's going to come out fine. And so I pleated my design, the material on top of the skirt, with the aid of my pin. I was able to, when you pleat, you tack it, you pin, just as you are seeing. As I pin, I use my needle, my pin to hold it. And then after doing that, it's going to come to your machine. I want it to be closer, so you're going to see how I'm sewing it. And I'm still trying to arrange my pleats very well. And then before I run my stitch, so arrange your pleat very well, and then sew on top. And then make sure you're sewing on the skirt. You see, this me flipping it over. Make sure that the stitch I'm running is coming out on the main fabric get. So that's how you're going to keep on doing it. Keep on arranging it and keep on sewing. Yeah, and this is me done. So before when you're trying to hem, just make sure that the edge of your material, like you hem it, you hem the tip, the starting point and the end of your material. You get, just hem it and then you double it. Make sure that hem is inside, it's not showing outward. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So at the other end, you see the hem I'm talking about, just take it inside, and then you see, you know see where I hemmed the material. And for the other side too, that 1.5 inches I marked to, and just use my material, place it there, just trying to extend the pleat to that side. And the pleat is lifted, like one part is down, another part is up. I'm trying to create my pleat at the other end of the skirt. You see, just keep on arranging it. Arrange it, use your pin and tack it. Just take your time while doing this. It's not difficult, you can do it. So that's how to do draping. I'm draping it on a flat surface. If you have a mannequin, you can place it there. A pinnable mannequin, you can place it there, pin it at the side, and then you can drape on it too. This is me draping on a flat surface, so it can still be done on a flat surface. Just take your time, pleat and tag, pleat and tag. If you look at the design we have, you find out that there are two draping. You have this one I'm doing now, which is the base, like this one is the underlay. So under pleat again at the top, just as I did that, I'm going to do that, and then you drape it. Because I don't have enough fabric, so the draping is just once, and that's the thing. So I finished draping it, and then I tagged it just as we did. I tagged it to the main material, and I'm going to cut off my excess. And first, I added my waistband to the front and back part of the skirt with my zipping at the back. And then with 1.5 inches same sewing allowance that we added, I'm going to join the front and back piece together. This is me after the joining. So this is what we have there. So the piece looking somehow because I didn't arrange, like, but when this client wore it, it's going to find out that is going to be very perfect, and the material is a bit elastic. So with the small material I had left, I will just tack it at the end to have the drape for. The difference is that there is no extra drape on top of this.